I know some of y'all gonna get scared by this video because of the title that you see, but I'm here to let you know that you are a magician. Oh no!
Never! I'd rather that word come in here right now and eat you all alive!
Yeah, I know. Some people don't want to hear that. You are a magician. People don't know what the etymology of the word magician. If you actually study the etymology of the word magician, it means that you're a wise man. You're a person who has a skill. You're a person who is an expertise in something. Okay? So an athlete is a magician. A scholar is a magician. A philosopher, a scientist, a violinist, a pianist, a musician in general is a magician. Somebody who is an expertise in something. A poet is a magician. A film writer is a magician. If you're a doctor, you are a magician. Okay, you are a master of something. And these particular things that we practice and study externally are just reflections of things within us. All right, these are things that are projected out of the mind and they are put out. Because everything that we practice is a part of creation, right? Things that were created that came from the mind. All right, so these particular things that we practice and study outside are within us. Okay, so we're just practicing stuff to master something that is within us, to overcome these very boundaries and limitations that were put onto us. When you study the essence of being a master, when you master thyself, you understand that there's your chaotic side and then there's your peaceful and orderly side, right? So you have to be balanced. You have to be in the middle, all right? And the best example that I can give of balance is the the presentation of Haru and Set. This is a symbol that our ancestors in a particular area use, okay, that our people use in a particular area in Kemet, all right, when we're dealing with science, all right. This is just a scientific symbol. Don't get too literal, all right. Some people won't be able to grasp this, but this is a scientific symbol. This is a scientific symbol of your higher self and your lower self. This is why it tells you in the Bible, get behind me, Satan. Satan. Get behind me, Satan. So the particular story that was going down is that Peter, the apostle Peter, was telling Jesus, yo, you ain't got to do all this. You ain't got to give up your life. Let me give my life. You shouldn't be on this task to give up your life for, other people, this and the third. And Jesus was like, get behind me, Satan. He was telling his lower self. He was telling that doubt, that confusion, get behind me. All right. So something that we have to also come into mind is that essentially when we're dealing with your chaotic side and your orderly side, neither one is good or bad or good and evil, essentially, when we're dealing with self, okay? The greater good or the greater evil, the lesser evil, whatever particular terminologies that they use in terms of semantics, when we're dealing with self, is never too good or too bad, right? Now, unbalance is always bad, because if you're too good, you get stepped on and taken advantage of. If you're too bad, you rot, right? You turn bitter, you rot, you get sour, all right? So you have to be in the middle, right? You have to be centered, you have to be master, all right? So when it concerns your higher self and your lower self, it's never too bad to tame your fleshly side or your quote-unquote carnal, chaotic side. It's never too bad to channel that particular energy, to channel that dark side, because you always need that dark side. You need particular traits and characteristics of that dark side. That's where you get your aggressiveness from. That's where you get that warrior energy from. That's where you get your anger and your strength, that willpower from, So when it concerns us being magicians, and remember, like I said in the beginning of the video, a magician is not some spookism thing where you have a little wand and everything, you have your little hat. A magician is somebody who is a wise man, who is an expertise at something, All right, they are an expert. They are a master who is well skilled in a particular curriculum. All right, so it could be a scientist, a scholar. It doesn't matter. All right, and as you saw in the beginning of this particular video, out of a particular book where it talks about these particular things of you studying these things that come out of the psyche, that comes out of the mind. So when you practice, or you are in expertise at science, or you practice in your expertise at music, you practice and you are an expertise at style and fashion, so on and so forth, architecture, all of this comes from the mind, and so essentially these are just different, also deals with different elements of the earth, earth, air, wind, fire, earth, air, water, fire, excuse me. That's just essentially talking about the avatar. You are the avatar. You are the last airbender. You have to master all 4 elements, and all 4 elements are contributed within the body. So you have to master all these 4 elements in order for you to be your own savior, for you to be the generator, operator, and director of your life. All right. So everything that's projected and reflected outside of you, all the movies and the TV shows that talk about a savior and the chosen one, it's talking about you. It's essentially talking about you, black man and black woman. It's talking about the 9 ether beings, the original beings, the original blueprint of this earth, But they're not going to give you that information, and 9 out of 10 of the time, you're not going to believe anything that I have to say, because I'm speaking hoopla, I'm speaking nonsense, because you've been conditioned to think that this particular way is nonsense, But in conclusion, you are a magician, all right? Just study, etymology in terms of the particular words that we use today, witchcraft, magic, magician, you know what I'm saying? Particular words like spells and stuff like that. When people talk about they speak the gospel of Christ, you're speaking the good spells of Christ. It deals with magic. It's dealing with magic essentially. And magic is not a bad word. Europeans have taught you that magic, using the word magic and magician, is a bad word because it deals with witchcraft. But you don't even know what a witch is. A witch is a female magician. You know what I'm saying? But again, when we're dealing with the religious aspect, people can't grasp that because they've been conditioned to think that, when we use these particular words like witchcraft and so on and so forth. And of course, we could deal with the whole, we didn't use the word witchcraft and all this in concerning African spirituality and stuff like that. But I'm just dealing with fundamentals here, right? Just dealing with the words and etymology of the words. When you're using the word witchcraft, you're dealing with the craft of a female magician, all right? And some people could argue that when dealing with witchcraft, you're dealing with the dark magic, the essential dark magic, because when you're dealing with triple blackness, the yoni, that is, that's what the black woman has, the triple blackness, which we all came from. That's essentially what it gets into and stuff like that. But I don't want to get too deep into that. I just want to deal with the fundamentals of you being a magician and you specializing a particular thing about yourself. Specializing, your purpose, your will. But that's essentially all that I have for today. I don't want to go over my time. Till next time, I'm Tyrone, and I'm out. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure you also follow my social media. Here's my email, like, share, and follow. And for more deep, in-depth content, please become a Patreon today. For only $2.50 a month, you can become an official supporter of Rone Productions, and you can get some very well in-depth content, also provided with PDF books and documentaries, and so on and so forth. Last but not least, we finally have some new merchandise out. So that means we got some new shirts, hoodies, and all type of stuff that you can now shop today at Rone Central. Just go in the link below and shop today. Recognition.